Mr. Speaker, funding the government may seem like an arcane exercise to some watching this debate today, but it is the most basic responsibility any member of Congress has, and failure to follow through could be devastating. Remember what happened during the Trump shutdown? The President and Republican leaders who controlled the Congress then caused the longest government shutdown in American history. Hundreds of federal workers were forced to miss paychecks. The men and women who keep our country safe struggled to put food on the table. Members of the Coast Guard, FBI agents, Border Patrol officers, and TSA agents waited in long lines at food banks to provide for their family. Millions of households were at risk of experiencing a gap in their SNAP benefits without a backup plan. And I could go on and on and on and on. These debates are not just some abstract political exercise. They have real-life consequences. And that's why this majority passed bills to fund roughly 96% of the federal government earlier this year. But Leader McConnell and Senate Republicans couldn't get their work done. So today, we find ourselves needing to take action once again before funding runs out later this week. And once again, this majority is not shirking its responsibilities. We are taking the lead through a bill that not only keeps the lights on, it addresses the most critical budget priorities we face. In addition to funding the government through December 20th, the underlying measure also gives our military a 3.1% pay raise. It fully funds a fair and accurate 2020 census, and it keeps critical public health programs going for another month so consumers don't see a gap in care. Families, businesses, and communities need this certainty while talks continue on a longer-term deal. Just as important as what's here, Mr. Speaker, is what is not here. There are no controversial policy provisions, nothing designed to make members run to their partisan corners. This is simply about whether key programs remain authorized and funded, whether members of our military are able to avoid the pain of budget uncertainty, and whether we guarantee an accurate 2020 census. We fight about a lot of issues on this floor, but this bill should not be one of them. I know President Trump's disposition is to govern by tweet. That's what helped bring up on the last Republican shutdown. I don't know if he's logged on in the last few minutes and tried to throw a wrench into the process, but I hope that regardless of what he does or doesn't say in the next few days, Republicans will join us in agreeing that we should not be shutting the government down. We should pass this bill. We should allow appropriators to have more time to negotiate and continue this process in an orderly way. Make no mistake, this majority will continue fighting hard for our priorities. We're going to keep defending vital programs, and we will be providing a check on the Trump administration. But we are going to have that. We are going to fight for what we believe in while averting another costly shutdown, because it's the right thing to do, and it's the responsible thing to do. I don't expect that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are going to always share our priorities, but I do know that there are many in the House, and I include my ranking member, who is also an appropriator in that category, who is sincerely dedicated to making sure we do our job, to making sure we fund our government, to making sure that we achieve a reasonable compromise, and to making sure that we avoid another shutdown that has such catastrophic effects. So I urge all my colleagues to join with us. Let's allow for more time for talks to continue while saying enough to government shutdowns, and I reserve the balance of my time.